Hey, it's Adon here, adoncoin.com, where I teach you how to play in DADGAD guitar. This lesson we're going to learn a song called The Isle of France. If you haven't heard it yet, I will leave it in the description below. It's a video I made back in 2014. I might do an updated version. If you'd like that, just let me know in the comments. I first heard this song off of Nick Jones. If you haven't heard his version, you should definitely check that out. It's great. And so in this video, we're going to learn the chord shapes in DADGAD. I'll add in some little bits like Hammerons and Slides just to kind of spice things up, and also the rhythm. So I'll give you a quick rendition of the intro and the verse, the first verse, just so you can follow along with chords, chord shapes. We'll make things easy at the start, and then we'll kind of build things up from there. So here we go. The sky was dark and the night advanced when a convict came to the Isle of France, and around his leg there was a ring and chain. His country was of the Shamrock Green. Cool. So the chords of the intro and the chords of the verse are all the same, and we'll go through them one by one now, and that's the whole song then. So there's not too much to learn here, so we'll go through it. The very first chord that I play is this D chord, and I like to play it with the little finger on the 5th fret here on the low A. And you can play it to simplify things. We can just play it with our first finger on the 2nd fret of that G string. You can play it perfectly fine like that. I just like to add in that little finger. I think it kind of gives a bit more meat to the chord. So let's get the rhythm down first. So it's in 6/8. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, all down upstroke. So, and I do picking pattern, but we'll go through that in a second. But you want to get this rhythm solid before moving on to that. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Cool. So that's just the rhythm in it. All I do with the picking then, if it might sound complicated, but it's not too bad. It's alternating picking. You're just going 1 2 3 4 5 6, down up down up down up, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you can really pick any strings you want in this. I just happen to play the low D, the middle D, this middle G, and then the high D. So that's what I play, but it'll sound grand through all of these chords, whatever strings you play. So if you just want to... anything you want to do, it'll sound great. Also strumming is grand as well. So chord number 1, let's focus. So we got the sky was dark, next chord, and the night. This is E minor. So we have our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of that low D, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of that low A. Rest of the strings are open. So in DADGAD, the chord names do get a bit mad, so I'm just simplifying things here. It's actually E minor 11, but it's so then we're going back to this D. As I said, you can play it with one finger or this 4 down here. So from the top, going through those 3 chords. The sky was dark and the night advanced. It's just hopping to that E minor. Night advanced. Then we're going up the scale. When a convict came, B minor 7. So this is a nice chord. We have the 3rd finger on that 9th fret of the low D, 4th finger on the 9th fret of that low A, open, middle D, 1st finger on the 7th fret of that G, and the rest of the strings left open. So that's your B minor 7. Then we're going down, convict came to So this is your A. So you have your third finger now on the 7th fret, fourth finger is on the 7th fret of that low A, second finger on that 6th fret of the G. So we're going from this B minor 7, sliding down, A minor, or A, and then we're holding that shape and we're going down again to this G. So we're just bringing everything down to that 5th fret. We have the third finger on the 5th fret, fourth finger on the 5th fret of the low A, second finger on that 4th fret of the G. And we're going through that sequence again. We go up to the B minor again, B minor 7, down to the A, and then the G. Nice chords these with those open high strings. So let's go that far. So we had D, E minor, D, then we're B minor 7, A, G, and then B minor 7, A, G. So let's go through it. Sky was dark, D, and the night advanced, E minor, D. When a convict came to the Isle of France. So that's going through your B minor 7, A, G. Cool, so that's how far we've gone. Then we're going to this, back to this E minor. We hold that shape and we slide it up, add in our first finger to get this F sharp minor. So let's just go through that. Second finger on the 4th fret, third finger on the 4th fret of that low A, first finger on the 2nd fret. If that's a bit of a stretch, you can play it with your 3rd and 4th finger. It's handy, yeah. I just like sliding up sometimes from that E minor. It's kind of handy, but you can go from this E minor using your 3rd and 4th as well. Whatever's handiest for you, there's no hard and fast rules here. So then we're back to this D, and that's pretty much the whole sequence. It kind of repeats from there. So I'll go through the whole sequence again using that first verse as an example. Sky was dark, D, and the night advanced, back to the D. When a convict came to the Isle of France. We go through that sequence again, and around his leg there was a ring and chain. This is where the E minor, his country was, sliding up to the F sharp minor of the Shamrock Green, back to the D. And that'll work for all the verses. So there's only a few things we can add in here now just to kind of spice things up. You can either start doing your picking for all of those chords, going up through that sequence, the B minor 7. That might take a bit of practice, but get your metronome out, just go down, up, down, up, down, up, and you'll get it. It'll come with time. So other than that, we can do some hammer-ons and slides and all of this. So on this E minor chord, we can hammer onto that. So with our 2nd and 3rd finger. So I do it at the very start when sky was dark and the night, just a hammer on, night advanced. It's subtle, it's small little things, but you can add in that sound just a little bit nicer, I think. So it's just your 2nd and 3rd finger hammering on to that 2nd fret of the low D and low A. Night advanced. Cool. What else can we do? We can do a slide up. Say at the very end of the verse, going from this E minor to this F sharp minor. And slide up with that 2nd and 3rd finger, if you like. So let's have a listen to that. So that'd be you can slide up, slide down into your D. Nice things to do. There's no, as I said, you can throw in so many things here. There's loads of little things you can throw in with DADGAD, and there's plenty of videos on this channel to that help you do that. For example, you could do just a scale going up. So let's see how that would work. So I'm only trying to show that there's loads you can do. There's stuff that I don't do, but you don't want to be a carbon copy of any guitar player. You want to try and make your own thing. So on this channel, I have loads of videos to try and cover all of those aspects. So let's go on. I think that's about it, apart from this one hammer on that we have on this D chord. So I like to hammer on with this third finger onto the fourth. It's something I use quite a lot, so it's just a hammer on. It just kind of pushes the song along. And you can throw it in where you want. I think that's about it. Back to this D. So maybe we can go through the chords one more time from the top, and you can see where I'm throwing these little flurries in and these hammer-ons and slides, and it might give you a good example. So, sky was dark and a night, hammer-on, advance back to this D. When a convict came to the Isle of France, down to the G. And around his leg, up to the B minor 7, there was a ringing shame. His country was of the Shamrock Green. And then just to show you the very intro, or the bridges, hammer-ons. Going up through the sequence. Slides, hammer-ons. So as I said, there's plenty you can throw in, and that's the kind of beauty of DADGAD. It just allows you to do all these little flurry tricks and stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed that lesson. The lyrics should be below as well, so you can check that out. And if you like that, give it a thumbs up and leave any comments, any questions at all. I'm happy to help out. Do subscribe to the channel. I have plenty more DADGAD videos on the way, and do check out the videos I've already made. So I'll see you on the next video. All the best.